Hi guys, I'm Tom Church from latestdeals.co.uk and today I'm giving you 10 ways to boost your broadband speed. Are you having problems with slow broadband speed? I'm having problems with my phone. Learn 10 ways to boost your broadband speed and make sure to check our full guide linked below to read more. First of all, why do you need good broadband speed? You need a good broadband connection that can handle the amount of data you want to download and upload daily. That's why it's really important to understand how you are going to use the internet before choosing a broadband package. If you already have a broadband connection at home and having problems with speed, this video is also for you. Alright, how do you find out what your broadband speed is? The first thing you need to do to boost your broadband speed is to find out what speed you're currently working with. There are a lot of websites that can give you this information. And if you read our article, you can find a list of them. When you know what your broadband speed is, then you can take some actions. What can affect your broadband speed? Mainly, there are 5 things that can affect your broadband speed. The first is where do you live and how far are you from the local telephone exchange? The further away you are from a telephone exchange and a street cabinet, the slower your broadband connection will be. It's better to choose a provider that is closer to you when opting for a broadband package. Number 2, what type of broadband connection do you have? Do you have an ADSL or a fiber connection? If you have an ADSL, maybe it's time to change to fiber, which is faster. If you already have a fiber connection, you're probably doing something wrong with the settings or the speed's not fast enough for you. The third factor is about the quality of cables outside and inside your home. Unfortunately, most of the housing in the UK does have an outdated infrastructure, so the cables are often old as well. The same applies to cables outside your house. If you are buying a house, you can make this a priority and change the cables. The fourth factor to look into is how your router is set up. I'm going to provide lots of ways to boost your broadband speed, and some of them are about how to get the most out of your router, so keep watching. This is crucial for broadband speed and it's a common mistake to overlook it. And the fifth factor, probably the most important, is how are you using the internet? The way you use your broadband is very important. Be realistic about your internet consumption and habits to get the speed you really need and use. The more activities you do online, the more speed you're going to need. Okay, so those are the factors that can slow your internet. Now let's talk about 10 ways you can boost it. First one is the easiest, to update the browser you are using. If you are using a specific browser, for example, Safari, Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, Firefox, Opera, make sure you're always updating to its latest version. They usually send notifications about updates, but if you are not sure if you are using the most recent version, check it out and update today. That's often the fastest way to increase the speed of your internet because the browsers themselves get faster. Tip number 2 is to keep your computer's antivirus up and running. Does your computer have an antivirus program up and running? If not, this could be one of the reasons why your internet is slow. Malware often uses your broadband connection to transmit messages with your computer's data, and this slows your computer down. Tip number 3 is to stop apps running in the background. You'll need to change the preferences of the applications you use daily. Many of them run in the background without you knowing, using the internet. With their settings, you can block them from running when not in use and avoid the impact on your broadband speed. Tip number 4, change the location of your router. Most people have their Wi-Fi router tucked away in the corner of a house, probably near the telephone point. However, if you can move it to the center part of your house, it may give you better Wi-Fi across all the rooms. This is pretty essential and it's a common mistake. If anything is interfering with your router functionality, you need to remove it. Tip number 5, change your Wi-Fi password. This may not work for everybody, but there is a small chance that somebody is using your Wi-Fi. If you haven't changed your password from when you got it, some old routers came with quite easy default passwords to guess. So an easy tip, just to be sure, is to change your router's password. Tip number 6, use a wired connection rather than Wi-Fi. If you have a computer with an Ethernet port, it can be quicker to use the wire going to your router than it is via Wi-Fi. Online gamers who need very fast internet connections always use a wired connection rather than Wi-Fi. Tip number 7, check the phone line for interference. If you have a phone line, this could also be interfering with your router functionality. You need to check if every phone socket has a filter to protect it from interfering. Tip number 8, get a wireless booster. Wireless boosters help you extend the reach of your wireless connection. They won't do anything for broadband speed itself, but if you are having trouble in some rooms of your house and things are very slow, a Wi-Fi booster can increase the range of your router, enabling you to get access to the Wi-Fi at better speeds in those rooms. And tip number 9, turn off any device connected to the internet that you are not using. If you want to optimize your broadband connection, it's better to have fewer devices connected to the internet. If you are not using a device that's connected to the internet, make sure you turn it off. And tip number 10, get help from your broadband provider. Most broadband providers have applications to help you get the most out of your broadband package. Check with their customer service to see how you can get these applications. All right, thank you very much for watching. Please go to our YouTube channel at Latest Deals and hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, pop them in the comments and we'll do our best to help answer them.